Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever part of the day this video chooses to reach you. And my mic is not plugged up. Let's get it. So let's say that intro once again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever part of the day this video chooses to reach you. I hope you're feeling well, I hope you're feeling fine, I hope you're feeling blessed. I realize that you are blessed. You got to see that somebody else didn't get to see. That's a blessing in itself. All right, so let me guys today. I should have labeled this one "A Man and His Thoughts" because a lot of what I want to talk about today has just been thoughts that I've been having over the last couple of days in regards to a couple of different issues that we've been dealing with here in the United States of America recently. One of the issues I want to talk about, it got to do with the civil rights fight. It was once said that the fight for civil rights is going to be an ever-going and ongoing fight. That is proven true. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's a lot going on in regards to rolling back civil rights protections. It's just basically a lot of onslaught for things that our ancestors fought for to get established here in the United States of America. I have a lot of thoughts about civil rights later, so I'm going to touch on some of that stuff. We got open carry in the state of Florida active now as of September 25th, 2025. Open carry is the law, is the law of the land in the state of Florida. So I got a clip from our favorite Florida Sheriff Brady, detailing some things in regards to open carry that we want to keep our attention on. I want to talk about rage bait. What is rage bait? And we're watching a lot of rage porn here in the United States of America. And I don't think you guys know. Let me fix that real quick. I had to update something real quick. Ooh. There's a lot of rage porn going on. And what we've seen at the Tennessee State University campus with those fake those fake Charlie Kirk impersonators going around, that's rage porn. We're gonna dive into that, what it is, and how the dominant society, aka white America, gets off on watching black people rage out. Like they fucking get off on that shit. I want to talk about another act of political violence in America, perpetrated by guess who? Somebody that did not look like me. A white man shot up the ICE facility in Texas yesterday from the roof with a rifle, like a sniper. Told y'all a couple days ago, or last week rather, I told y'all last week on the stream that white America is the face of political violence in America. This man was anti-government. Which party wants to limit government? Which party has the faction that says we don't like the government? It's the right. They try and paint this picture like this guy is some anti-America. They trying hard they're trying hard to divert our attention away from the fact that this guy was on the right. This man that shot the ICE facility, he didn't kill any ICE agents. He didn't shoot any ICE agents. He didn't harm any ICE agents. He shot up a detention center van filled with detainees. One detainee is killed, 3 others injured. When are we in America going to realize that Angry white men are the biggest threat to America. These motherfuckers are shooting up any fucking thing they feel like when they feel like shooting shit up. When are we gonna get that through our head, America? Like I said, I should have named this shit a man in his thoughts, because most of this stuff I'm gonna be touching on is gonna be a man in his thoughts, and I'm the man, and they my thoughts. Like, white America is in denial about a lot of shit. White women are an extension of the power structure that they're associated with. They have no real backbone, most of them, and the angry white man is the biggest threat to America. We keep seeing white men do vile and heinous things in America, and it's not nothing new. I'm not making this about race, or we could go back to slavery if you guys like, but I'm not going back to slavery. I'm just staying right here in the present, in my lifetime. In the 41 years I've been alive, I've seen white men commit heinous acts in the United States of America repeatedly. A lot of times with guns. And what happens? When a black person does something, he's a thug, he's a ruffian, he's a hoodlum. When a brown person, a Mexican, a Chico, do something, oh man, it's illegal. Let's kick him out of our country. When a Muslim does something, oh my God, they're radicalized. When a white person does something, wait a minute. Is this a mental health situation? Was he, stable? Was he being bullied? Something must have been wrong. We make excuses for these fucked up ass individuals. And in turn, more fucked up ass individuals keep doing fucked up shit. America wants to try and point the finger at every other race, every other religion, every other creed, talking about violence. But when we look at who is doing what in America, it's the same people, the angry white man. And I'm not saying all white men do this type of stuff. But when we look at political violence in America, it has a usual suspect. And that suspect is the angry white man. What? If I hear black fatigue, I'm going to show them black fatigue. I have no fucking idea what that means, but okay, UNTV, thanks for tuning in and contributing. But the black fatigue thing that you talk about is real. I'm tired of hearing my skin color be vilified. And then every time I turn on the TV and look at what's going on in America, it's somebody that looks nothing like me that's fucking America up, that's committing a mass shooting. These motherfuckers even kill their kids. The kids ain't even safe from angry white men. Think about that. We got politicians that are go fucking crazy about a transgender bathroom sign. But when we got kids getting killed in schools, they say jack shit about the gun laws. They'll try and explain it away when they keep seeing the same motherfucking culprit shoot up shit. Angry white man. Oh my God, he must have been not mentally stable. We got a real problem with our mental health situation in America. We need to address it. No, we got a problem with angry white men. You ever notice that a white man becomes overly enraged when he can't get his way? Oh shit! Now, an angry white man, a white man that can't get his way. Oh shit! They will lose their fucking cool. They gonna try and tell you who all they know. They gonna try and get you in trouble for doing your job. they don't give a fuck what goes on, because when they can't get their way, they get pissed off. And that's what we're seeing. A lot of angry white men pissed off at one thing or another, and they're shooting shit up. It keeps happening. It keeps fucking happening. What's it? Okay, thank you for the clarification. That's not what they mean when they say black fatigue. They mean they hate how black people act in public. Great segue, UNTV, because no matter what they say about black people's behavior, white people get off on black people's behavior. White people, they get off on rage bait, rage porn. They get off on that shit. They want to see you riled up. They want to see black men angry and seething and they get off on having the idea that they can control your emotions. You know, so some, you may say they don't like the way black people act in public. They may not like some of the boisterous or loud behavior, but they love that rage. They get off on that rage. I think that's why they lean so heavily, the right do. I think that's why the right leans so heavily on passive aggressive, veiled aggression. We've just seen the the outrage behind Charlie Kirk's unfortunate killing. And some of that outrage was pointed at Black America. We've seen HBCUs across the nation get faced with all type of threats of bombs and shootings and all type of other fuckery. And earlier this week, we seen some Charlie Kirk wannabes going onto the campus of Tennessee State University. Pause. Hold on. Wait. The first charging president is Trump and white man. They said it on the screen. I didn't. I just read it. But we seen these individuals called the Fearless Debaters. They call themselves the Fearless Debaters. They went onto the campus of Tennessee State University trying to mimic what Charlie Kirk had built a fucking living off of. So first of all, I got a problem with them Jack and Charlie Kirk style. May God rest the dead. Let that man's legacy be what it is. His wife is going to take over the mantle and take Turning Point onto his new journey, whatever that looks like. But for these individuals that are trying to, for me, I guess, fill the gap or void that they perceive being left by Charlie Kirk's unfortunate passing, nah, bro. They were kicked off the campus. And I hope history repeats itself again and again and again and again and again. Every time they go on campus, they get kicked off. Because you can't just go on to people's campus and try and entice riots and get people riled up. Hold on. We got a kid that's been kidnapped in Marion County. A whole lot of hours away from Marion County, man. Why are you sending me that? As I was saying, excuse me. And I'm getting to the rage porn stuff because they just thought it was a good idea to just bum rush Tennessee State's campus. No permits, no permissions, no prior approval, no nothing. And that's why they were kicked off the campus. But when you look at the social media, this is why I say the white America loves rage porn. Hold on, Sheriff Grady. We're gonna get back to you in a minute, but UNTV got me somewhere in my discussion that I ain't mean to be, but we're here, so we're gonna ride it out. This young man right here, Cam Higbee, thought it would be a good idea to go on Tennessee State's campus and try and debate students about various things. But this is also why I say white America loves rage porn, because when you look at the videos, that's all it is. White Karen openly admits her best argument is to call us racist. Ginger shocked that he actually agrees with me. Students think I'm racist because I criticize Black Lives Matter. TSU student pulls this out. Like, it's a bunch of fucking rage porn. They want to get shocked. They want to get people riled up for this right here, views and the likes. These individuals feel as if it's okay to go into spaces that are occupied by Black people, brown people, people that they openly know may not agree with them, and say triggering or enticing statements to get them pulled outside of their character, all behind views and likes. They get off on this shit. They truly get off on that shit. What does it say here? Imagine going to school to be distracted by Nazis inciting riots. Exactly. And this is what we have. I'm not going to go as far as call these individuals Nazis, but these individuals are going on these college campuses without pure intentions, without good intentions. They're going on these campuses with the idea of, I'm going to sit down here for a couple of hours. I'm going to debate or engage with students, and I'm going to say things that are disrespectful and triggering to the average person. I'm going to keep my calm composure, and I'm going to passive aggressively say these triggering and disrespectful and harmful and vile things to individuals. And when they lose their shit, my cameraman is there to catch it all. We're going to edit it. We're going to put it on the internet, and we're going to get a bunch of views and likes. And they're going to be like, yeah. They get off on this shit. They're not doing this to actively learn or get, active dialogue out there. I don't understand the attraction to this shit. And here's one thing right here. When I tell you these motherfuckers, they rage bait, look at this. Weapon caught on camera. I want to show this, click on this video. I'm going to get this. Don't do that. Come on. Yo. Oh, you cut it out, boy. You better. I like the police being there and trying to see what's going on. They know that these people don't have permits. They know that these individuals probably shouldn't be there. They know what they're trying to do, but they're going to try and give them a chance to see if they could peacefully interact with the student body. Because if you can peacefully interact with the student body, cool. But if you're there triggering and antagonizing them when you're already not supposed to be there, then the police is going to do their job and get your ass the fuck up out of there. Let's see. I got some activity in the chat that I don't want to get away from you guys. But most of those who mourn Charlie Kirk are white, and they have been very nonviolent in their reaction. You are overlooking what I'm saying. See, this is what happens when you listen to respond versus listen to understand. We're not talking about Charlie Kirk's mourners being violent. Although when we look at political violence in America, it does have a usual suspect, and it is the angry white man. I'm talking about these motherfuckers that are going out here and trying to do rage bait, and they're getting off on trying to get people riled up. It's called rage porn. It's called rage baiting. It's called gaslighting. That's basically what it is. Now, there's no doubt that Charlie Kirk made millions on, doing this very thing. And as I said before, I believe that's these motherfuckers trying to come back behind Charlie Kirk and basically steal Charlie Kirk's steam. They're not going to do it because they're already fucking up. Because at the very least, Charlie Kirk had the support of the college institution that he was going on. Charlie Kirk wasn't just pulling up, throwing the fucking chair down, the table down, talking about, hey, debate me, and saying bullshit to people on trying to get views and likes. You know what I'm saying? You got to respect Charlie Kirk's process. These motherfuckers are nothing like Charlie Kirk. Tell him again. What do you mean? Most of them are calling for a civil war or extermination of liberals. You see, I didn't even get to that point. I stayed on my point. Thank you, WinTV, for calling it out. Because when Charlie Kirk first got, unfortunately, shot, there was a lot of, oh, we're at war. We gotta, if they want to do that, Charlie, when we get to that? Come on, man. Let's come on, man. And Charlie Kirk did not grow his audience by speaking his mind and refuting liberal lies with truth. Those were not truths. It's well documented. If you want to go pull up the Cambridge town halls that he had, where that one student continuously tore his facts up, you'll see Charlie Kirk's demeanor change from being the smug, pretentious asshole to being like, damn, he got me. He's just trying to see where I can get up out of this. And similar to this guy, the clips that you see that are posted online from these individuals are never clips of them getting owned. These people, just like Charlie Kirk, would try to sit on campus for hours. But when you see the clips that are posted online, it's a 30-second clip here, a minute clip here, a 20-second clip here. So they sat on campus for hours. And then you get a 30-second clip of them where he's, owning one student. And they've talked to hundreds of students, but he's only owned one. Come on, bro. Like, that should tell you where this fucking guy that went on TSU campus, his aim was. Because he tried to go on campus, and he got plenty of footage. But let's take a look at the footage. Let's get back to the footage, because this was the one where he said there was a student that pulled a weapon on him.
Okay. Bring the sign back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this motherfucker said this is a weapon. Rage bait. I don't know if you've ever been on a college campus. There are individuals on college campus that take classes that, when you look at the syllabus, the class supply list is going to actually include some fucking tools. Especially if there's an engineering program on that school campus. Especially if it's like it's like some construction or something like that these kids are learning about. You're gonna see fucking tools, and let's take a look at that tip of that screwdriver there. That's not a regular screwdriver there. See that black tip? That black tip is special, so you don't get electrocuted while you're working on fucking electronics. This man has a screwdriver that is specific to people that work on electronics so they don't get electrocuted. Is it a stretch to say that this man may be in a program where he has to fucking use a screwdriver and he's going to class? And I'm going to tell you the truth. For any of y'all motherfuckers trying to say, oh, well, he ain't got no bag, I graduated college on the dean's list. And I'm going to tell you right now, I did not purchase books my senior year of school, and I rarely carried a book bag after my freshman year. Just being honest. Some classes, I would have a folder and a book if I needed it. But by the time I got to my senior year, man. And I graduated on the dean's list. So this is what I mean when I say these motherfuckers be talking about rage bait, rage porn. Because it was some people that looked at this and saw that screwdriver and they thought in their mind, oh, well, yes, it can be used as a weapon, if he can, it's, but then why does he even have a screwdriver on a college campus? I don't know. Maybe it's to apply for a class. The fuck? And I'm gonna click play, and you guys tell me, you think the police thought this was a weapon? Let's run it back a little bit. Because one of the cops seemed like don't even give a fuck about this dude. Look. Cop right there. I don't get it. Weapon. What? Rage porn. These motherfuckers are rage baiters. Let's take a look at the other clip. He stated that we went to TSU for civil debate and anti-white riot erupted. 134,000 views. Rage porn. See, he put that anti-white riot erupted on there. 134,000 views. So one question destroys every pro-abortion argument. 3.7 thousand views. 37,000 views. 5.3 views. Like he gets a couple thousand in views. But when I say these motherfuckers have figured out rage porn, come on. They understand that when you try and get negative reactions out of Black people regarding socially sensitive issues, that's how I'll put that, you can get a lot of attention. You can get a lot of likes. You can get a lot of views. And on the right, that equals a lot of money because there are people that will fund your whole shit as long as you're out there pushing division. As long as you're out there saying the shit like this motherfucker wants to say, the passive-aggressive, veiled, aggressive shit. And then you're pushing the narrative that, hey, these Black people are unruly. These Black people are this, that, and other. As long as you can go out there and push that narrative on the right, you're going to have a motherfucker that's funding you. Charlie Kirk died with a net worth of $12 million. This motherfucker is nowhere near a college graduate. He dropped out. But he made millions from rage baiting, from rage porn. And this motherfucker right here is trying to follow in his footsteps. But he couldn't even do what Charlie did and do it the right way and get the permits and get the permission to go on people's campus and interact with the students. At least Charlie was doing that. and this motherfucker rolled back down. Say the police was forced to intervene. The police told them they didn't have the right permits and told them they had to go. Police were not forced to intervene. But hey, we don't live in a society where people give a fuck about the truth anymore. It's only feelings and emotions. And when people see this type of rage bait, they click it and they go for it. These motherfuckers, this is where society's at. Like, white people get off on this shit. They get off on it. Get off this shit real quick, because I'm starting to get a little aggravated talking about this son of a bitch here. But let's pivot a little bit and talk about the law of the land right now. We got a new law. We have a new law on the books in the state of Florida where open carry is now the law of the land. Some people support it, some people are against it. I myself, full disclosure, I am a proponent of, I support the Second Amendment right. I believe in firearms, y'all. Like, I believe in them. I got a number of them. I don't think that everyone should be able to just openly carry firearms anywhere and everywhere. I just don't. I don't have faith that everybody that is openly carrying a firearm has gone through the same training and educational classes that I've gone through to understand when and when not to use force. I don't think that everyone that wants to openly carry a firearm in the state of Florida is going to do it in the right way. You know, I believe, similar to what you're saying, UNTV, I believe in a well-regulated militia. And when we say well-regulated, we mean rules, regulations, some parameters. So I want to pull up this clip from Sheriff Grady, our favorite sheriff here in the state of Florida. If you're unaware, for anybody in the chat that's watching the stream, of who Sheriff Grady is, Sheriff Grady is a Pasco County sheriff here in the state of Florida, and he's internet famous. You just say Sheriff Grady is going viral on more than one occasion behind telling us about how they done caught some idiot or showing up on TV with all of the gold that they done snatched from a motherfucker, or talk about how they done impounded a Maserati and this, that. Like, Sheriff Grady done been viral for a lot of things. And I appreciate him making this video to try and give some clarity and explanation to the new law of the land in the state of Florida. So let's take a look at what Sheriff Grady got going on here.
So I have spoken with the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House, the Chief of Staff for the Governor, and explained, look, we need to address through the legislative process tightening up the rules. It will be them doing open carry law, but we need to cover the corners. So in the meantime, we're left with a law that can be misinterpreted easily. So what I'm telling folks, to be safe, understand this. Go back to your concealed carry rules. Go back to your open carry rules about places you cannot carry a firearm. Yes, effective September 25th, you can carry an open firearm. But there are places that you still are restricted. And even the appellate court opinion says, yes, there are going to be restricted areas, such as courthouses, such as when governments are meeting. So
I want to pause right there to highlight what he just said. When governments are meeting, notice he said when governments are meeting and not where or a specific place that a government may be meeting. Because governments, whether it be state, federal, city, county, whichever it may be, they meet in a variety of locations. And if you just so happen to go into a location where there is a government meeting of some sort, don't be surprised if they tell your ass you can't come in here with your fire. Don't try and say this is an infringement on my Second Amendment rights, because the sheriff is already telling you that the appeals court that said the law was unconstitutional, that banned open carry, still said there will be restrictions. meaning you won't be able to go anywhere and everywhere with your firearm. And it's like I said, I paused right here when he said about the government's meeting, because governments meet in a variety of places. Whether that be they may be holding a town hall meeting, they may be holding a community meeting, they may be holding a meeting where it's just certain advisory board members. They hold various types of meetings, these various types of governments. And nowhere where a government entity is meeting can you open carry. So please understand that. If you want to be the person that tries them, I myself will not be surprised if you don't get an opportunity to try anybody else. I'm going to just say it like that. Tap into my veiled passive aggressiveness of that I see that the right always do, and start doing passive aggressive shit. So let's see what else Sheriff Grady has to say here.
Well, I'm telling folks, as a blanket, just stay away from schools. That's clearly illegal with a firearm. Stay away out of government buildings, federal, state, and local, just to be safe. Don't try to go into the courthouse. That's clearly illegal, and there are court orders and laws. And give the legislature time to kind of square up the corners once again. But open carry will be the law effective September 25th. But there still are some restrictions. Open carry doesn't mean open carry every place in the state of Florida. There are still restricted areas. I have been a strong proponent of carrying a concealed firearm, because those that care enough to carry concealed firearms after they learn how to appropriately handle them.
A well-regulated militia. That's what our forefathers mean. And this is why I am hesitant about putting support behind this, because I understand that we have some dickheads in society. Some people don't want to accept it, but I fully accept that we got dickheads in society that are just not gonna do the right thing. I fully understand that common sense is uncommon today. So I don't think it's a far stretch to think that now we're going to start to see dumbasses with Dracos and pistols all just willy-nilly just because. I remember a time that only police officers, bad guys, carry firearms. And you could easily tell the difference between them. Now everybody, their mama got a firearm. And the other thing that gives me just heartburn about the other thing that just fucking makes me scared about this. I'm just scared of this shit gonna happen. We've seen the videos on the internet already of people just getting pissed off and emotional and shooting shit. Black people, white people, Chinese people, like we've seen the videos online already of people just getting mad for one reason or another and starting shooting. And now we have open carry in the land. Common sense is very uncommon. But I told y'all a couple weeks ago, always keep you a first aid kit on you, because you never know when you're going to need a first aid kit. And yes, my first aid kit is always near me, because you never know when you're going to need a first aid kit. What else you got to say, Sheriff?
They are a safety valve in society. They're a help to us. But carrying a concealed firearm gives those carrying the firearm the element of surprise. The people that are going to carry firearms illegally for nefarious purposes are already doing that. So what we're doing is we're telling the good folks, carry your firearm and carry it concealed. And that's legal in Florida with the exceptions I just talked about. The law now says you can carry it openly. That's the law. I'm not a fan of that. I'm a big Second Amendment guy. But why am I not a fan of open carry?
Tell him,
Because
Sheriff,
you
why we not
lose
a
the
fan of this shit.
tactical advantage should you need the firearm. Some people think, well, if I'm carrying a firearm, I'll announce my presence and my intentions. You don't scare away real bad guys
Tell him
by carrying
again.
a firearm in a holster.
Tell him
You don't
again.
scare real bad guys by slinging an AR-15 over your shoulder. A real
That go for you YNs too. Motherfuckers think y'all scaring some shit. And this is what I told y'all. This is why I don't like this fucking new law. Because we're gonna have dumb motherfuckers doing exactly like Sheriff Grady talking about. YNs walk around with a fucking 30-round fucking mag hanging out the end of their Glock, just think it's cool to look that way. Motherfucking white boys in fucking Krispy Kreme with a fucking hunting rifle around their back. Like, what the fuck? Like, y'all motherfuckers trying to be intimidating. That's my problem. Because when motherfuckers try to be intimidating and they see that they're not able to intimidate you, they keep on trying. And that type of escalation, when firearms are involved, is not a good combination. Nowhere near a good combination. Like he's saying, y'all ain't intimidating and scaring shit. I ain't no real bad guy, but I'm a bad motherfucker. I identify as a dangerous man with great qualities and good intentions. But dangerous comes first, motherfucker. So understand, you got bad guys that ain't gonna be moved an inch by that shit. And you got dangerous motherfuckers like me that's gonna look at you like you're a goddamn fool. And in our mind, we are thinking, ain't nowhere in hell you're gonna be able to maneuver fast enough before I could pop your ass. Ain't nowhere in hell. Ain't nowhere in hell. Ain't no way in the hell. Because while you sitting there talking, I'm up and fire. I'm gonna blow your motherfucking face off. Because I'm a dangerous man. But I identify as a dangerous man with great intentions and good qualities. Like, these motherfuckers, like I said, emotionally driven society. This is what happens in an emotionally driven society.
bad guy will take it from you and stick it up your butt and
Tell
then
him again,
discharge
Sheriff.
it. So I'm suggesting
Run that back.
AR-15 over your shoulder. A real bad guy will take it from you and stick it up your butt and then discharge it. So I'm suggesting to you that if you think wearing an exposed firearm is going to scare bad guys, no, it's not. It's just going to point out you as a target. I am suggesting to you, if you expose a firearm, you're...
Now, some people may not understand that line that Sheriff Grady just said about exposing you to make you a target. One part of that is that some people may see you with that open carry shit and want, some stripes. They might think, hey, if I fuck this nigga up, I fuck this white boy up, I fuck this person up, I'm gonna be cool now. I'm gonna look, so I just fucked this motherfucker up with his pistol on him. That happens. But the other part of that I thought about that most people don't understand is when he said it makes you a target, guns ain't cheap. Say that again. Guns are not cheap. And I've been at the range on more than one occasion and seen multiple individuals at multiple different times with firearms that I know cost an upwards of $10,000, $15,000. You got handguns out here that cost 5 racks. And when you know what you're looking at, and you're looking at a motherfucker that don't look like they, you know what I'm saying? You might be like, shit. Y'all know how much Desert Eagle, man, look, a Desert Eagle ain't cheap. So understand that Sheriff Grady ain't capping. A bad guy seeing you open carrying a pistol or AR or something that they know costs some shit that they personally can't afford. But they got their little deuce, they got their little 38. And they know what they doing. And they get to it before you get yours. That's what happened to your high-priced firearm that you just was showing off. You got bucked. And you gonna tell us, you gonna go have to go tell the story now how a motherfucker robbed you of your firearm. Yes, that does happen. Seen shit happen, motherfucker, creeping motherfucker at the gun range before. Surprised you didn't get shot.
You're making yourself a target, and you're telling the bad guy, I can rip this firearm off of this old man or this old lady, and then use it against them in whatever manner I want. So, that is why I don't like open carry. I want you to carry concealed, so that if you have to use a firearm to protect yourself or someone else from a deadly assault, you have the tactical and the surprise advantage. All of that goes away if it's open.
So open carry, while it is the law of the land, and I do respect the laws of the land, I just gotta say I'm not for it. You know, I understand it's the law. Luckily, I don't have to enforce this law, but I don't have to support it either. Am I going to openly carry? Hell no. I'm not openly carrying any of my firearms. I don't give a damn if the law says that I can. And the reason why I won't open carry my firearms is not because I'm scared of a motherfucker going to beat me up and take it. It's because I want the tactical advantage. It's very fucking simple. If you think you're going to commit a crime against me and you don't know that I have a firearm on me, I don't want to let you think that you are committing a crime against me, because I am looking for the opportunity to unholster my weapon and blow you the fuck away. But I cannot use that tactical advantage if I'm openly carrying my firearm. Very simple. Very fucking simple. That's why I believe in concealed carry over open carry. Because one, everybody don't need to openly carry a firearm. There is no reason for us to be walking into our grocery stores, our park, wherever, with an assault rifle slung over our shoulder. It's not. There's no reason for me to be openly carrying my 40 or my 9 or my 38 or my deuce or the 357 or any other pistols on my hip, openly, just like I'm John Wayne. There's no fucking reason for it. When I engage in bodyguard work, yes, there may be some type of situation where that calls for it, but most of my clients prefer me to be concealed carry, period. That brings extra attention when you got a bodyguard that got a big ass pistol or AR hanging off their fucking self. That brings extra attention. But if I'm dressed regular in my regular clothes and got my, you know what I'm saying, on me, nobody knows. We look like we're just going out for a walk and stroll and wherever we're going. Granted, he might be a big black guy with a couple of white people, but that looks normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary about that. That happens. unless you think I'm racist. Told y'all, I love white people. White people love me. But yeah, the open carry stuff is going to be crazy in the state of Florida. Now, businesses do still have the right to put up signs or deny you entry if you're openly carrying. Businesses still have the right to say, "Hey, I don't want you in here with your firearms." Just like they have the right to say no animals in my business. Now, some business owners will say, "Oh, I don't care about people openly carrying in my business," but I think business owners will take more heed to their ability to forbid open carry once we have the very first situation of motherfucker doing some stupid shit inside somebody's business behind open carry. And all it takes is one. All it's going to take is one fucking incident. One. That's it. All right. Give me a moment. I want to get on some rants here for a minute because I've been looking at Black leadership be under attack in America ever since Trump got in office. And it's making me think about some of the moves that have happened as soon as Trump got in office. He fired a bunch of inspector generals. He basically took watchdogs out of the government. And now he's attacking Black leadership across the nation under the guise of, saying they're not doing good on their way. That the city's like just crime ridden and inept. He openly said, some Black women are they shouldn't be in certain positions. He tried to fire so many Black faces in high places. And the attack on Black leadership has made me wonder, what is it going to look like for Black America once the individuals that are fighting for Black people's rights aren't there? What is going to happen to Black America once the people that are standing in the gap and trying to say, hey, that's not right, that's going to disproportionately impact Black communities, brown communities, poor communities, impoverished communities? What happens when those people are moved out of the way or no longer there, or they are just tired of being constantly attacked and they just beat the fuck down? Because the fight for civil rights was said, they said this to me. I forget who said this. I think it was, fuck, I'm trying to blank. Give me one moment here. John Henry Lewis. I know as soon as I started to type, that shit was gonna pop in my head. I believe it was John Henry Lewis that said, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that the fight for civil rights is going to be an ongoing and ever-changing, ever-morphing fight. Meaning it's going to take different shapes during the different generations that's going on. But the fight is going to have to be continuous and continual. We're going to have to keep doing it and renewing it. I think the current people that are fighting for civil rights, that's who's constantly under attack. And some people are just, in the Black community, are not even aware that this fight is even going on. We've gotten so individualized in the Black community that it weakened the collectiveness of the Black community. I seen Roland Martin calling out Divine Nine, Greek organizations, fraternities, sororities, different Black organizations behind chasing individualism and using the status of their organizations or whether they're standing in those organizations for individual gain instead of a collective gain for the whole people. We in the Black community have lost sight of the notion that a rising tide raises all ships. We in the black community are only concerned with our one individual ship and not the entire dock and not the entire harbor. People literally will look at their own individual boat and be like, hey, I want to make this boat the biggest fucking mansion boat that I can make it. And won't even look up and see that the whole entire harbor and pier is being run down because the Port Authority just doesn't give a fuck. And if you're missing the analogy, the Port Authority is the government and the harbor is your community, your hood. Yeah, so we got to try and get back to the notion, the idea of where civil rights started. How do we do that? I think the first thing is going to have to be get rid of the individualism that has taken over and taken hold of the black community. When I seen that clip from Roland Martin, I've never called out fraternities and sororities. I'm not a member of any fraternity or sorority, full disclosure. But I've never had a thought to call them out. But when he said that statement about individualism, I have had a thought about different black organizations and people themselves allowing themselves to be used for disingenuous purposes for personal gain. So what he's talking about, I've seen already play out, and we've all seen it. We've all seen the black person that has said, well, I got to think about myself, my people. I ain't worried about them over there. When if we take a second and think about it, that's all the civil rights movement was. People not being individual minded. People understanding that, well, I can personally gain. If my community is suffering, how much have we really gained? We got to get back to protecting our own leaders and our communities. Because black leadership is under attack, and we got black people that'll sit there and see the shit and won't say nothing. Or think that it's not gonna happen in their community. Or think that the people that's actually saying something about the bullshit, they're the problem. No. We got to get rid of the idea that if I don't say nothing, maybe it'll just go away. Because every black person is guilty of that shit. Every black person in America is guilty of seeing some bullshit and trying to ignore it and hoping it to go away. That's that slave mentality. Where slaves would see the homeboy or somebody getting beat or hung or a woman getting raped, and they're trying to ignore it and hoping it goes the way it ends. That's that slave shit. And I had a thought earlier in response to somebody asked me, why do I always got to say something? And I thought about my family and what my own family has been through in this world. And I credit my grandfathers, one of my grand uncles, and two of my current uncles right now for the reason I act the way I act. My Jamaican grandfather, he's a bushman. And he didn't take no shit. There's a story in the community that my family still lives in Jamaica. Well, whenever we go, Spot, I always gonna bring the story about how my grandfather cussed out the judge in the community, the magistrate. Went in the court, tore up his summons, cussed out the magistrate, walked out that bitch, and ain't nothing happened. My grandfather was also the man that would go into the bar, and if you wanted to hang out and chill, you want to drink, he'll buy you a drink. Yeah, put the rum bottle on the bait table. You know, most people gonna come drink. You know, he was a community man. My grandmother, you know, if you couldn't, you was hungry, come on around now. Sister Bertha gonna feed you. No, my grandfather, he ain't take no shit. And he was never scared. He was never scared. He was just never scared of anything. My South Carolina grandfather, we talk about a black man beating the shit out of a white man in Jim Crow, South Carolina. That was my grandfather. And his brother, my granduncle, that didn't move because my grandfather ended up moving to Florida. But his brother stayed in Carolina. And every time we went to Carolina, he would show us this motherfucking gun cabinet that's bigger than this motherfucking. Matter of fact, it's about taller than that shit that I built right here. This is old kitchen cabinet I put together in the garage. But it's about taller. About that cabinet about tall as that shit is right there. About wide, a little bit wider. Yeah, about that wide. About tall as that 3 wide. Full of fucking guns. Full of guns. Rifles. Like like real fucking rifles. Shotguns, assault rifles, pistols, shotguns. Full of them. Young Buster told her that he didn't take no shit. And the fun thing, side note, the fun thing about Uncle Buster is that he had a white man that stayed next to him that whenever we seen this white man, he always had a pearl-handled revolver on his hip because he knew if they came for Buster, they was going to try him too. And he was ready for them to try him. And he wasn't going to ever be caught without one. And Uncle Buster always had a little deuce on him. And I understood as I got older why Uncle Buster always kept his deuce and why the white man always had his pearl-handled pistol on him. Because they held that motherfucking street down. You weren't coming over there talking about nothing. Not a goddamn thing. You weren't going to do shit to Buster or the white boy that stayed next to him because both of them were going to blow your ass away. And that's my granduncle. So after my granddad beat the shit out of the white dude, I guess they want to smoke my granduncle. He had to shut down. I ain't with it. And I got some uncles that one of my uncles is very outspoken and said what the fuck he feels like when he fucking said feels like it. And growing up with that type of influence, can you tell that I learned how to accept responsibility for my actions at a very young age? And I don't got no spirit of fear. I don't give a fuck. But we got that I diverted talk about my history and shit. But we got to get back to protecting our leadership because you know they're under attack. Because what's going to happen when they defund all these programs and they, you know what I'm saying? What happens when those people are not here no more? The black community is going to be really fucked in. We got these organizations, the Hebrew Israelites, the gangs, the YNs that go hard about their community. Got a bunch of niggas in the community that got guns to protect themselves and their property from other niggas when they ain't even fucking paying them attention. And the threat that they really should be focusing at, they'll tell you, nah, man, them people like, man, nah, man, them people ain't like that. Nah, man, nah. Only to be like, dang, man, what can we do now? You gotta open your eyes, man. Because our youth are looking at this shit. Our youth are seeing everything that's going on right now. And I remember being a youth and looking at people still fighting for rights, and it wasn't like openly, you know what I'm saying, blatantly bigoted or racist in the early 80s, in the 80s and 90s, but it still was some shit that was going on. I think we've gotten to the point where people think they've been lulled to sleep by comfort. They've been lulled to sleep by complacency. And no matter what you tell them or what you see happen, there's some black people that are not going to wake up until it's too fucking late. But we just pray for them. And everybody else, the revolution will be put on the internet. It's not going to be televised. The revolution is going to be streamed live on the internet this time. But what that revolution is going to look like? We don't have civil rights fighters like we used to. And that's the sad thing. At a time that we probably need them the most, we don't have strong civil rights leaders. We don't have strong black leadership. We don't have a collective black voice. That's one for the wrap up stream. It's 8:30. I ain't even put a real shirt on the stream. I normally put like a shirt on or something. I had this tank top on all damn day. I worked and got out of work, took a shower, put this on, and but thank y'all for participating. Chat, love you.